your boy K-Dog here. And so far, we're halfway through. Are we halfway? We're almost halfway through the Best of the Super Juniors 32. And for anybody who doesn't know, why don't you let me explain this to you. I mean, you should know because you clicked on it by knowing by the title. But if you don't know, what is the Best of the Super Juniors? It's a tournament event that's held by New Japan Pro Wrestling for the junior heavyweights, and the winner wins a trophy, a little award that's Best of the Super Junior winner, and then they get a title shot at, you guessed it, Wrestle Kingdom. It's the G1 climax for the junior heavyweights, if you will. But let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this video. How is the Best of the Super Juniors going so far? So far, I am loving this year's Best of the Super Junior. Yes, I know there's a couple of names that could have been in this match. You know, they could have done but I understand with where New Japan is currently in the status of the company. So I can understand, like, for example, Bushi was initially announced and then he left and then they had to replace him. You know, there was a couple other names they wanted but they couldn't get. So I understand because of the situation, the status going on with New Japan and Bushiroad currently. But that aside, everyone is amazing and performing outstandingly well. You know, my highlight of this year's Best of the Super Junior, definitely, you know, obviously, before I say who it is, you guys probably will think I'm going to say Hiromu Takahashi. No, because he performs as well as he does every time he's in one of the Best of Super Junior. He's like the face of the Super Junior division. So I will put him aside. But for this year is not looking at Hiromu Takahashi, looking at anyone else, my highlight really has to go to three men. Nick Wayne, El Desperado, and this one's going to come to you as a little bit of a shocker. A little one. Not a big one, but a little bit of a shocker. Maui. I know. Some of you are going to ask, who is he? He's from DDT Pro Wrestling. If anyone doesn't know what DDT Pro Wrestling is, well, it's comedy gimmick wrestling in Japan. But that aside, we could do other videos talking about DDT Pro Wrestling. But yeah, so these are my three names. I know. I took a little bit of a pause because I know some of you will be shocked. Because I know some of you would have sat there and been like, wait. What about Kushida? What about Kevin Knight? Or maybe even, you know, other younger names like Kosei Fujita. And I'm like, yeah, they're great, but they're not highlights. To me, they're not the highlight. But this is only almost halfway. Maybe by the time the tournament goes on, maybe other names will shine and be more of a highlight for me. But also, looking at the Best of Super Junior 32, it showed me Nick Wayne. My God, this boy needs to leave the patriarchy. A-S-A-P. I mean it. A-S-A-P. Like, he is 100,000% better on his own. He doesn't need no Christian Cage. Christian Cage is holding him back. Like, him showing himself in the Best of Super Junior, he shows he could do it by himself. He is a great wrestler. And look, he's only 19 years old. And he's done things that a lot of wrestlers would take 5-10 years to build to get to and grow and gain. He's done that and he's 19 and he's only been wrestling since he's 16. He got signed to AEW when he was 17. Made his television debut when he was 18. Right? Think about it. So he doesn't need the patriarchy. Screw the patriarchy. Nick Wayne should just leave. But I also know where they're going in AEW with their storyline when he returns back to America and returns to AEW. Also, his commentary, my God, if you guys saw 2 nights ago when he was on commentary, at the time of recording this video 2 nights ago, oh my God, his commentary was like, blessed. Obviously, he's not the greatest commentator, but for a wrestler to commentary table, he did pretty good. So Nick Wayne, seriously, if you're watching, if anybody is watching this, like Nick Wayne, if you happen to stumble across this, think about it. Think about it and pitch it to Tony Khan. Just, I'm being serious. Like, even if you, even names like Maui, if anyone who hasn't watched DDT Pro Wrestling, go watch DDT Pro Wrestling. He's a good name in DDT Pro Wrestling. He's one of the more upper end of the junior division. So he's another name that's really good to look at. El Desperado obviously is the junior heavyweight champion. They're gonna make him look good, and as always, he's looking better than ever. Now, obviously, you're gonna look at it and say, well, wouldn't he be in the same boat as Hiromu Takahashi? Kinda yes, kinda no, because he's always been like on Hiromu's coattails, if you will. Because Hiromu Takahashi is like the face of the current generation junior heavyweight. He is the junior heavyweight division. He has more Best of Super Junior wins than anyone else. He has more Best of Super Junior finals than anyone else. He has more Best of Super Junior entrant than anyone else, right? So he is the face. So that's why I excluded him and why I put El Desperado, because he's always riding on Hiromu Takahashi's coattails, right? And this year, I feel like he's right there, neck and neck with Hiromu. That's why I also throw him in there. And also, his match with Maui, come on. If you guys have not watched DDT Pro Wrestling, that match was a taste of what you get from DDT Pro Wrestling. And I loved it that they let them do this during the Best of a Super Juniors tournament. I don't mind, like, names like Robbie X, I don't mind that he's in it. I know he's not the first name anyone would think of when they're like, oh, Best of Super Junior, Robbie X. You would think of other names, but I don't mind him. He proved to be amazing. Names like Clark Connors, I love his gimmick that he's doing with Wheelson. And I get it. If anyone doesn't know what this is, because he brings out a wheel. If you guys who've watched it know, he brings out a wheel, and then the Japanese commentary yells at, wheels on! All right, and then the English commentary started to run with it. Clark Connors ran with it. If you guys understand the way that the Japanese say Wilson, if you ever heard a Japanese say Wilson, they never call the person Wilson. They always call him Wheelson. So you get the joke. If you spell it out the way you pronounce it, it's spelled the way a wheel, like a wheel on a car or like a moving vehicle, right? So I love that gimmick that he has there. I like that some matches are no DQ, some matches are. I don't like the way that they have with House of Torture always interfering in House of Torture matches. That I don't like. Like, the prestige and honor should be there. I get it. House of Torture are like the heels of New Japan, so they gotta be the heelest of heels, assholes. But come on, at least let honor be there. Like, if you look at AEW when they do the Continental Classic, they don't allow anybody to interfere, because if somebody interferes, doesn't matter who they interfered on behalf of, they are suspended, and both contestants are disqualified from the Continental Classic. So New Japan could have kept the prestige. Like if you look at the G1 Climax, there's prestige there where nobody does that. Yes, it has happened in the past, but it's not like the way they're showing it with House of Torture and every House of Torture match. Like, come on. Again, I get it. They're like the heels of heels, like the true, real heels of New Japan. But here's the thing, where I want to see the rest of the Best of the Super Juniors 32 go. I would love to see a lot more of the younger talent get more points. Because right now, if you look at names like Kushida, names like El Desperado are like at the top of the brackets, with 6 points and 8 points, right? I would love to see names like Francisco Akira, Kosei Fujita, Nick Wayne, younger names. Well, Francisco Akira isn't as young as them, but younger, newer names to go up in the upper echelon, like the upper class. And I don't like where at some points where they were like, oh, these guys are upper, and then all of a sudden they negate it and they go, oh, well, everyone's just flat. I like to see those 2 or 3 names always keep that spot. and then have somebody come in, swoop, you know, like definitely I would love to see again Francisco Akira, Kosei Fujita, and Nick Wayne because they're young new talent that could really benefit from finishing in top. If not winning, which I don't see either one of the three men winning the best of a Super Junior because it's too soon. It's their first best of a Super Junior, while Fujita this is the second one, but it's not their time yet. But if they can finish in the top three, top four bracket, and not in their brackets, not in their group, but overall, if they could finish like in the, not even top three, if top four, top five, I would take it, because then it builds them, especially someone like Nick Wayne builds him to go back to America, go back to AEW, and everyone looks at him like, oh my God, you were able to do something this big and tremendous internationally in a market where it's very difficult to get that high very quickly on your first go around. Someone like Kosei Fujita, people will look at him and be like, man, he could be top dog in TMDK, like second into commandment of Zack Sabre Jr. Francisco Akira could be like, oh my God, he could be the junior heavyweight of United Empire. He could be like third in command because the order right now, because these groups have orders, right? United Empire, their leader is Callum Newman, and then you have Great-O-Khan, and then Francisco Akira could sit right there and be like next to Great-O-Khan, like both sitting right next to Callum Newman. It could really build their careers, their characters. It could really let them grow as wrestlers, and really, they could really use it. And again, like I said, I don't expect them to win at all. You know who I expect to win? El Desperado. Because I feel what they're doing this year at the Best of the Super Juniors is, why is El Desperado? And yes, in the past, there have been junior heavyweights, but this time it's a more of a meaningful emphasis, right? And El Desperado is undefeated, correct? El Desperado, since winning the junior heavyweight title from Hiromu was it Hiromu? Or I can't even remember when he won it, but it was a long while, and he's been undefeated in his current title defenses. So I feel like they're going to build up El Desperado. He's going to win it, and he's going to go to, which it's kind of odd and weird that he would go into Wrestle Kingdom challenging for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship when he's the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. But I feel like he's going to go to Wrestle Kingdom and be like, instead of me just getting a bye and not having to do anything, I will issue my challenger. And I feel like his challenger, take this with a grain of salt, if you will. It's going to be, if and only if Doki is ready and medically cleared by then, which he should be, because it would have been a year since he had his leg injury, right? Unless it was really serious and he needed more time off, that's a different story. But I feel like they're going to run back Doki and El Desperado for the junior heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom 20. If not, they might run the Hiromu Takahashi Desperado again. Now, some of you will be like, why? They've run it back how many times? And Hiromu can never, ever beat El Desperado in a one-on-one. This is where you're wrong. This is where I think they might be like, you know what? Give Hiromu Takahashi his finally his first and maybe only win against El Desperado, and finally reclaiming something. But then that also says that Hiromu is no longer in the openweight division, because Hiromu did specify he wanted to go to the openweight division, because if you're in the openweight division, you're allowed to challenge for the IWGP tag team title, not just the junior tag titles, and you can challenge for the never openweight belt. But once you go for the junior title, you don't get. So this is where I feel their stories are going to be going and they're taking. But anyways, overall, I'm loving this year's Best of the Super Junior. They may do with what they could, and they really delivered so far when they're almost halfway through. I hope the rest of the Best of the Super Junior goes as hard as it does now, as well as it does now. I hope it does even better, and I hope to God, I hope to see the three young men in this tournament, Nick Wayne, Francisco Akira, and Kosei Fujita, to really shine and prove that they deserve a higher spotting. Anyways, if you guys love these videos, if you guys love wrestling, you guys love video games and movies. Oh, and by the way, all the links will be in the description for all the Instagram. And the first one, the very first Instagram link you want to click, you might want to click on that one because something, just something, I'm not going to say what it is, but something will be coming soon. You must click on that very first Instagram link that is in the description below. You will click on that and then subscribe or follow and turn on your notification because soon something will come up. Anyways, remember, as always, enjoy life, keep on collecting, and we'll see you all for another video.